Hello nerds everywhere, welcome back to another tailored collection video where we are going to unbox and review the new Darth Maul figure from Hot Toys. This is just the regular one without the speeder, MMS 748 here. And taking him off the rotating turntable, we're going to dive into this unboxing real quick. I was able to get him off of the waitlist on Sideshow's website, so I'm super thankful there. I honestly didn't think I was going to need this guy at all, considering I have the old, I believe, DX17. I'm trying to look at the box for it. I think it's DX17. Got that at a Comic-Con back in the day. That was on the floor. That one came... I got that one with the speeder. This one is just the figure, no speeder. Kind of plain in terms of accessories and things like that, because we don't get his giant speeder, but I already have it. So I figured I just wanted the actual upgraded figure here. So that is what we've got in front of us. On the back of the box, just warning information, all that jazz. And let's go ahead and get him out of the box here right away. Met with the slip cover of the artwork on the front. This artwork is super sick. I think it's two pictures of the actual figure. The one in the background, I like that face of Darth Maul. I think it is the actual figure. The one up top definitely is right in front of us. It's so cool. This artwork is awesome, especially using the actual figure integrated into it. Super awesome. The Darth Maul face in the background as well. Just a very cool piece of art for this box here. Getting everything out, we have the main tray on top with the figure inside, and then everything on the bottom, which I usually forget to show you guys, is included there. So is cape, base, and stuff like that. But getting this guy open, hit with that new Hot Toys smell right out of the box. And oh my gosh, he's a lot lighter than I had expected him to be, for sure. He's sturdy, but he is a lot lighter. Like, this body almost feels hollow. He just doesn't have a lot of weight on him with his outfit, because it's just all fabric. But overall, like the head, the sculpt work, we'll get into it. It looks amazing. Really happy that I decided to pick this figure up on the wait list. But with that, let's get everything out of the clam tray box here and take a look at all of his accessories. First, we're going to start off with the display base, which we've seen this previously with the last Darth Maul figure, and here that one is right now. Same everything. It is very over encumbering. It takes up way too much space in the actual collection, so I don't really love it. This flooring is from the scene where Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are fighting Darth Maul. Floor on here looks really cool, but it just takes up so much space in the display. We have his coat, jacket, hood thing that you want to call it. We'll take a look at this on the figure in a little bit down the road in the video, but just know I actually really like it. I think it's mostly the same, but there are some major improvements considering his proportions are different on the new figure as well. So here we also have the probe droid. This is exactly the same, as well as the display base is exactly the same from the previous first generation Hot Toys Darth Maul that we got. And the detail, I mean, they didn't need to change anything on this, so it's fine because the detail is amazing. The sculpt is awesome. It's no problems from before. Might as well just keep it rolling with the new one. It's got this like brushed metal type of look throughout the whole thing. This antenna comes off here at the top as well. You can see that there. It also plugs in, not super securely. It has a keyed port, but I honestly can't even tell which way it's supposed to go. But the paint applications is a little bit different from what we saw with the first edition. Just more paints, scratching and stuff like that. It just looks a little bit more believable, but we could take a look here. Quick comparison between the old one and the new one. just some of the light silver edge scratching and things like that it's a little bit better on the new one. Just everything else is pretty much exactly the same. I mean, the sculpt is for sure the same. Paint is just a little bit different there. Next up, we got the lightsaber blades. They are getting a little bit more saturated as we move on. As you can see with the fan style ones, they are way more saturated than these ones, probably because they needed to make it look like it had a trailing edge. But as you can see here, you can still see through it. It's pink. It comes off pink in this video, most definitely. But taking a look at the fan blades, these seem to be way more saturated than the other ones, like I just stated, just because it needs to look like it's having a trailing edge. These are fine. I mean, especially with Darth Maul, it's cool to have them both in to make it look like he's swinging the sabers around viciously. They're not a great effect. They really don't sell the job perfectly, but I'd rather have them here than not have them, I guess. And then we also have two light up display lightsabers, one that's fully sized, one half sized, and then we get the actual lightsabers that are not lit up. A little bit of a new sculpt here for this lightsaber than we got with the previous first edition. It's a little bit thicker, I believe, at some sections. Overall, the paint application looks lovely. It definitely looks like Darth Maul's hilt. I don't see any inaccuracies there, but it also comes apart. It's keyed at the bottom because you can kind of recreate that scene where he gets his lightsaber chopped in half by Qui-Gon, and you can plug in this port here that covers up that end part with this little end cap piece. It looks really cool. I actually like this part a lot. I think it sells that cut in half look for the saber quite well. But other than that, like I was stating before, paint applications are really well done. And as you can see, it's just keyed on both ends here for the plug-in part to the other half of the saber. Goes in just the same there. And then moving on, you can see there is already a pre-installed CoverTech wheel on there. You do get a switch out one that's extended so you can actually hang it on his lightsaber belt. Here we have his macro binoculars or binoculars, Star Wars binoculars. I don't know what to call them exactly, but this design for a Star Wars item is so cool. Like, it's something about the gears and greeblies and all of that just really make this thing such a cool little prop. The paint applications, this is like the same sculpt from the first edition, but the paint applications is a little bit different. It's a lot more weathered, a lot more sandy type weathering throughout the whole thing. It looks like just like a yellow brownish wash covering the full piece. There's the little eyeball holes that you can look through. Moving on, you get his comlink cuff swap out piece that you can have him wearing, so it makes him look like he's calling in his probe droids when he's looking through his Star Wars binoculars. I usually have this on my Darth Maul figure with him posed up to like a probe droid or next to his speeder. Moving on to hands, we get the same array of hands that we've got before with the other release of Darth Maul. 2 relaxed styled hands, 2 gripping styled hands, and then 2 splayed out hands. And then we also get 1 like cupping hand to grab those binoculars, and then only 1 closed fist hand, which I would have really liked to for some things not pictured here. Just the junction box for the lights, eyeball tool, and the stand for the base. And here he is standing in front of us, finally taking a look at the actual figure himself. And by golly, I was telling you guys at the beginning, I did not think I needed this figure in my collection. I already had the previous DX-17 with the speeder, so I didn't see a huge reason. Although I did see early videos of the hugely upgraded head sculpts and just overall body and proportions. that is why I decided to pick him up eventually, and finally, well, here now I have him, so that's why I decided to go with him. He is exceptional. This is like one of my most realistic figures in the collection to date. I'm super happy that I ended up picking him up, especially because he comes with 2 head sculpts. I'm going to pop the regular looking one on my old figure, put on this robe cape, stand it on the speeder, have him sitting on the speeder, other one holding the lightsaber looking menacing. Taking him off the turntable though, so we can get a nice look at him real close in front of the camera here, and just go over some minor things, and then I think we're going to do a little bit of a comparison between this figure and the DX-17, the older figure, just so we can actually see the major differences that is coming across between the 2 figures. I am super impressed with how different they actually are, because proportions overall, it's insane, but I couldn't even begin to think about how different it was going to be between the 2 figures. But having them next to each other, seeing them in hand, it's very cool. But like the differences, there's almost, it's entirely new figure. It's almost completely a new figure. Like the tunic robe parts here, the actual shirt might be the only thing reused from the actual costume. The belt's new, the hands are reused, same for the cuffs, but the belt is new, the whole outfit is new tailoring across the whole piece here, which really makes it sell the proportions throughout the whole figure. But the boots are different. Everything is a huge step up from the first release, DX-17. Let's go ahead and look at the head sculpt though, and take a look at everything it has to offer. I'm super impressed because I really thought the first sculpt was really good and like spot on to Darth Maul, and I think that was the case. It was spot on to Darth Maul. Going around the back of the head though, you can see the sculpted skin on the back of the head sculpt. The horns are a little bit pokey. The only thing that's kind of unfortunate is the seam on the back of the head that meets the neck. It's not super flush at all. It's pretty noticeable, but it's also on a white plastic head sculpt clip. And that's how you can access the moving eyes underneath the sculpt as well. You just pop off that head sculpt and then you can move the eyeballs around just like that. But you can see right there, that's, 100% Ray Park. And with the simple swap of a head sculpt, we can see his menacing, angry, rabid type face expression. And it is so cool. I don't love this one. I think I like the regular one just a little bit more, but you can look at the way that these eyes are moving or looking through his brows. He's so menacing. The only thing is with the articulation, it's not that good. You cannot move it up and down, forward and back that much. But coming in closer here, you can see all this detail, the skin texture. It looks like face paint. We'll take a look here at the older version and see that it is all sculpted into the actual mold of the head. So, but here it's actually face paint like it was in the movie. So it looks amazing. I think this grin, the teeth, the eyes, the nose, all those crinkling sculpts around the nose, everything truly looks unreal here. It is really very, very lifelike, and you can see the earring there on his left ear as well. They've got that detail, and just this menacing head sculpt is very cool. I'm gonna have this on this body specifically posed up in a cool dynamic lightsaber holding pose. But switching over to the regular sculpt real quick, moving around the eyes just a little bit. Sorry if they're not aligned totally. I think maybe right there they might not be totally aligned, but that is a feature of this head sculpt. You can move around the eyes and get the expression looking even better. Taking a look at the outfit just a little bit though, The tailoring on this is mountains better. It holds to the body and sits to the body way better than the old DX17 did. It's not as baggy as that older DX17 as well. This one is nice, tight, forms to the body well, makes him look like he has traps. These arm parts that go into the cufflinks are sculpted even better. They sit actually where they should. Moving up his arms, we can take a good look at the belt. I don't know if this is leather or not, but you can definitely smell it like leather. Like when you open up the box, you can get a nice whiff of it. It seemed like I smelt it when I was first playing with this figure just a little bit, and I can't tell for sure, but it is also newly made entirely. The old one is a little bit thicker all around, and this one seems to be leather, but unsure. While I was moving this around, I could tell that his arm is a little loose here. Something that I thought I'd include just to give y'all a heads up. The body is pretty sturdy, but that's like the first thing I noticed. This arm is a little loose. That joint's not that tight. Other arm, totally fine. I've like had this with a few different figures. Like one joint is off a little bit, but otherwise he's doing just fine. Taking a look at his shirt though, one thing I do like to do with the Darth Maul that I already have is pull those like tabards down so that it sits tighter around his neck, but everything is wired here. All the tabards are wired to make it look like it's flowing in the wind, flowing around with his lightsaber twirls, all that type of stuff, but there's nothing left unwired here, which is really nice to see. The pants are like a darker gray, and then same with some of the under tunic tabards as well. So that's a nice little contrast there. It's not all 100% black. But moving down to the boots, like I was stating previously, they are a completely new sculpt. The articulation is the same though. They kind of suck. They don't do that well. They do not move forward and back and like ever so slightly side to side, which is nice to see because he kind of needs that a little bit of side to side at least to get him in some crazy lunging poses and whatnot. They look quite amazing. It's mostly the same sculpt. I think it's just they might be a little bit smaller, don't ride up as high, not as chunky as the other ones were as well, but definitely the weathering is better. As you guys can see on the back of these, the sand that is trapped in the crevices of the back of the boots it's a nice touch there, absolutely. And then the sand that is also trapped in the tread of the boots, quite a nice touch. Moving back out though, so we can get a full look at the figure. Taking a look at a little bit of articulation here. Let's look at the arms real quick. They sit pretty nice and flush to the body, and then you can move them past 90, almost 180 all the way there. They move very nicely. This one is way more sturdy than his left arm is. And then legs, you can see here double joints for the knees, making the legs almost go all the way back as well. The head sculpt, you can kind of see side to side, no problem. Forward and back, none. Moving on to the comparison segment here, getting the DX17 out next to this new one. Here is the real, you can see it now. That's 100% for sure. Again, DX17 on the right, the new figure on the left. And proportions. That is the main word across this piece here. This guy looks so much better with the new upgrades. Body, head sculpt, the belt, the tailoring, all of it is just so well done. You can see here like the head sculpt, the older one is a bit chunky, a little bit too wide in the face and the cheeks. Oh gosh, the new one is just insane detail to Ray Park. Swapping out the head sculpts though, you can see here the differences between the two of those as well, and mighty big difference. I've never really loved the one on the right. It's always looked cool, menacing, scary, but nothing like what we've gotten with the new one. Here you can really see the proportion differences. I'm trying to show you guys like the shoulders and the chest specifically, because you can see with the older one, his chest was, or his torso is too short and his chest is like too thick, and he has no traps. All those tabbers were trying to make up for the traps there, and this is what I was talking about earlier when I try to pull down the tabbers to make it hug the neck area a little bit better. I always did this on this Darth Maul that I've had in my collection for a long time, and it's made him look a lot better in the collection for sure, since it's just wrapped underneath his belt. It's all connected to the same part there. Makes everything look a little bit better, and you can do the same thing with the new one. They kind of ride up from time to time, just over time, having them in the displays. So I do like to do that there. I like to just show you guys that, just to show you what I do to keep up with that figure. But moving on to the lightsaber, we have a light up lightsaber to look at real quick, and you guys probably know what to expect here, but we will take a look here with the lights on and then take a look at what the light up lightsaber looks like with the lights off. Nothing too crazy. We're gonna do it 2 times. So here's the first one. There it is there. The lights are shining on this area pretty heavily, but it does, like, the lightsabers are too pink, and the baselets do not light up the sabers nearly enough at all. It's underwhelming. It's very underwhelming, unfortunately. Let's take a look with the lights off as well, because usually bodes a little bit better. And here is that. It looks cool, especially with that menacing Darth Maul head sculpt shining in the back. One more time though, here it is. Nothing spectacular. Something's got to change, I think, if we want to use these in the display. Wrapping up on MMS 748, the new Darth Maul figure out by Hot Toys, and I did not think we needed this. I did not think we needed an upgrade for Darth Maul, especially with the speeder. But how wrong was I? Very, very wrong. We 100% needed this. I'm glad I was able to pick him up, because I did not initially pre-order him or get him when he was up at sideshows, but I was able to get this guy on the wait list, and I've been killing it on the wait list this year. So I'm happy about that. But overall, like I was saying, we definitely needed this upgrade. The head sculpt is a 10 out of 10 for me. It is leaps and bounds better than the one that we got previously. The body proportions, like overall, this looks like a 1/6 scale person that leapt out of Phantom Menace and is here to wreak havoc with his double-bladed lightsaber. He is so cool. The tailoring, proportions, weathering, like for the boots and stuff, everything was taken up a notch. The head sculpt being on that plastic peg's not my favorite, because there's not a whole lot of articulation. Overall, everything here they did not miss on at all. Especially if that belt is also leather, that's even better. I mean, the belt also is made way better. It's not as thick. It actually looks like a 1/6 scale Darth Maul belt. It also might be leather, which is a huge plus. So hopefully that is the case with that. I do plan for now to keep the old Darth Maul though, just to have him holding the binoculars next to the probe droid and the speeder. Since I have the speeder from the old DX-17, I plan to keep that one in the display for now. Who knows what will happen in the future, but with this one giving us 2 head sculpts, I'm keeping that angry mouth open one on this body with him holding the lightsaber in a battling style pose. The other one's gonna be posed up next to the speeder looking dope and menacing with the regular Darth Maul head sculpt, and has taken that figure up to another level, because with the new robe on as well, it even hugs that body pretty nicely and works out really well. So I'm happy to have this guy further expand my collection in 2 different ways. Like I said though, I'm super happy I got this into the collection. It was worth picking up, most definitely. If you already have the previous one and you think you need to go for the new one, if it's not going to break the bank, I say do it. Especially if you have the speeder already with the other one. Even sell the old one, just the figure, keep the speeder, get this guy solo, and you have a great new setup. But that is going to wrap it up for the video today. Thank you all for tuning in so much. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed this video at all. We will see you in the next one. Take care.